Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Bryan with another knife review for you. Today we have the Cold Steel American Lawman. I honestly was not expecting to do a full review of this. I honestly just got it for comparison to another knife. Uh, but I started doing a little rant about it, about the company that makes it, and it wound up turning into a full review based on this knife. And it is a really good knife, so I think it does deserve a full review. There are other reviews of this out there, but not many of this newer version. So let's just get into the whole overview of this thing. Cold Steel, we all know about Cold Steel, uh, because they make damn sure you do. Their marketing is pretty aggressive. Len Thompson, their owner is and founder, is a bit of a controversial gentleman, to say the least, in the knife community. So I think we all know where Cold Steel is coming from. But this is one of their more popular models, and they're one of their more well received models, and for good reason. It is a very, very good knife. You're looking at the linerless G10, as you see on a lot of their knives, and with the ubiquitous triad lock, which you see on almost all their knives. Very good construction, very good quality. I have no issues with the quality at all. This is about a $95 knife, and that's about right. It's very well done. No issues with the quality whatsoever. The blade centering is really good. As you can see here in the camera, make sure I got that right. There we go. The blade centering is really good. The lockup of the triad lock is excellent. There are no offensive sharp edges or anything like that. Very well done. No issues with that there. Aesthetically, it looks pretty tactical, but not crazily so. Like some of the Cold Steel stuff looks like, whoa, if you pulled it out, someone would call the cops immediately. This isn't quite that bad. It does look very purposeful. It does look like, the name would indicate, American Lawman, like a knife a cop would carry. It does kind of, and would be great for that purpose. Aesthetically, there are a couple things I don't like about it. I hate the logo, the American Lawman logo. I'm not really that against the name of it. I don't like some of the other Cold Steel names. I'm not against the name of it, but that just looks like the logo of a 1980s television show starring Chuck Norris. Am I the American Lawman? I don't care for that logo very much. I think it'd be better if it just wasn't there. You look at like Spyderco Paramilitary 2, which is a more aggressive sounding name than American Lawman, and they don't splash it across the blade. I just wish they had left that logo off. But other than that, aesthetically, I don't mind it. It looks really good. I don't like the way a lot of Cold Steels look, but I don't really hate the way this looks at all. Let's just get straight into. So we've established that it looks okay and it's built well. So let's just get into the overall specs. You're looking at an overall length. These are all 1-inch squares. We could go back to the blue background because this is black on black on black on black. So kind of blended in with the black background. So we went back to the blue one for this. It is available in other colors, by the way. Before we get into stats, it is available in like an OD green, or what they call dark earth, like a dark brown color. Just in the handles, all the blades are the black DLC coated. You can't get it in a satin or a polished at all. You're looking at an overall length of 8 inches, blade length of 3.5 inches. Looking at a handle length just a hair over 4.5 inches. Weight is dead on 4 ounces, which is very light for a knife that's meant to be this heavy duty with a blade this big. Very impressed with the weight on this. You're looking at a handle thickness of 0.4 inches, blade thickness of 0.13 inches, and as I said, price of about $95. You can find it in other places for cheaper if you shop around on Amazon, and I will admit I did just buy this, and I did buy it on Amazon for a cheaper price, but it took nearly a month to get here. So maybe it's better just to spend the extra money and buy it from a reputable place. The $95 I get is what Blade HQ is charging right now. Get it from a place like Blade HQ or Knife Center or someplace like that. GP Knives, somebody, I don't know if GP Knives sells them, I didn't look it up, but get it from a reputable place. Pay the extra money, because my Amazon experience, I got it, but man, it took a long time. Let's just look at size comparison, get an idea what this knife is like. We will compare it to your steel wheel cut jack. This is the full size 3.5 inch version. Very similar in size to that. What else? The aforementioned Spyderco Paramilitary 2. See, I switched to the blue background, and now I'm grabbing blue knives, so still kind of blend in, but can't lose for trying, guys. Mannix 2 backlock, which is the same exact size overall as a regular Mannix 2. And last but not least, since I have this out, your Zero Tolerance 0801. So it's not dramatically larger or smaller than other knives in this particular 3.5-inch blade category. Now let's go to the blade. As I said, I think I said before anyway, I don't know which take this is. I do love that they've switched from the gross AUS 8 to the awesome XHP for most of the Cold Steel stuff now, most of their higher end stuff. They raised the prices a bit, but it was well worth it when they did this in about 2015, as near as I can tell. That was before my real time and being super involved in the knife community. But yeah, XHP is awesome steel. It's great. You're looking at like a hollow grind, drop point style blade, and I really, really, really like the shape of this blade. If you guys see the knives I rave about a lot, one of which being, for instance, the steel wheel cutjack, it's got kind of a similar-ish shape. Oop, I'm way off camera. Similar shape to that. Very much like the shape of this blade, and it's nice to look at. I like it's got, you know, the I just love the nice little swoopy angle for the hollow grind. Very, very nice. But as you can see probably already in this photo, one thing I don't like about it, and probably one of the only things I don't like about this blade, is the DLC coating, and it's all you can get. It does gather some fingerprints. If you guys wanted to pause this and I posted it in 4K and you blew it up, you could probably steal my identity with my thumbprints on it. It gives big thumbprints all the time, so I'm constantly cleaning this thing off. But that's a very minor drawback. The good thing about this DLC is it's very smooth. Didn't seem to slow it down slicing at all. It's a very good slicer. Very, very good slicer. And I've been carrying this 2 weeks, 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that maybe. But yeah, it's very sharp out of the box. Very good. Still, this is like, I've always heard that I have played with and used several Cold Steels in the past, but this is the first one I've ever actually owned, and I've always heard they were super sharp out of the box, and they absolutely are. They're very, very sharp out of the box. At least this one is. Very, very, very good. Ergonomics, also very good. Does have kind of a thin, the 0.4 inch. Most knives in this size are, you're looking at 1/2 inch, so it is a bit thinner, but it feels pretty good in the hand. It really does. There's no sharpness, like I said. There's no hot spots. There's no sharpness from the G10 slabs. You get that sometimes on knives with no liners. When they're just relying on the G10, they worry more about making it tough than they do about making it comfortable, but this is pretty comfortable in your hand. You can feel the thinness, but it doesn't bother me. I've got large size gloves, skinny fingers, and it feels completely fine. Lots of different hand positions. You can choke up like you could on a Spyderco or something. You know, you can hold it in your standard saber grip. Works great in a reverse grip. It's the hand positions on this are just great. I was very impressed with the ergonomics of it. I have to say, the G10 is very grippy, but not obscenely so, which brings us to, switching my notes, sorry, page 2. My horrible Paul Harvey impression. I'm sorry, but I'm never going to stop doing that, guys. Whenever I change the notes, I'm just going to say page 2. Anywho, what were we going to... Yeah, so it's grippy without being crazy, which helps in the carry, because when you put it in your pocket and you have to pull it out again, it doesn't, if you're putting it in and taking it out, it doesn't really tear your pocket up too bad. Not nearly as much as I was expecting from that Cold Steel image of big, burly, beefy, you know, American Lawman. I thought it would be pretty hard to get out of the pocket. It's fine. It's fine. And the way they angle their clip, it keeps it out of the way a lot. I know some people are kind of annoyed that it comes with 2 clips because the clip is angled. So if you want to carry it lefty, which you absolutely can, then you have to switch over to the, use a different pocket clip for the lefty side. And you can switch the thumb stud for deployment too, for righty or lefty. Some people complain about that. I don't know why you'd complain about that. I think that's really cool that they that they do that they do a specific right hand, left hand clip. Yeah, when you go to sell it, you got to make sure you don't lose the clip. But yeah, other than that, it's great. Like, I think that's a great idea. And it does work. It does stay, for a knife this size. It looks, I mean, look at this. This is, in height, you're looking at 1 3/4 inches. And I can still get my little tiny front wallet out of my pocket with it. I really can. And I never thought I'd be able to do that with this. I thought it would be a complete pocket dominator. But it isn't. I can still get this in and out. It's not as easy as some big knives. The Shaman's a little better, I think, maybe, in that regard. The Spyderco Shaman. But other than that, no, it's good. It's good to go for a knife this size. I'm very, very pleased with the carry of this. Carries fairly deeply also. It's not a true deep carry pocket clip, but it's close. You've only got a little bit sticking out. Great with that. Now the deployment, the triad lock is super stiff when it's open, and it opens very easily. Oh, I got my tripod on the way. Let me do it again. Yeah, see? I've only had this, I think it was about a week. I'm sorry. I think I said 10 days for it. I think it's been a week that I've had this around. I've been playing with it a lot, and it whips open pretty good with the thumb studs. You have to give a little bit of a wrist flick, as you can see, but it opens very well. I mostly open it in the slower, just fluid motion. I don't usually flick it very often. Now, the closing, the triad lock is very stiff because when it's open like this, the triad lock is about as tough as you can get in the knife world, even without having liners in it. This sucker ain't gonna break. The triad lock is super, super stiff. It's the best thing about Cold Steels. But the downside is the spring tension is pretty high, and it is a bit of a thing getting it closed sometimes. You can do it one-handed. I've done it a lot today, so I will admit that my thumb is a bit sore because I've probably done it 30 times today. But yeah, you can get it to close one-handed. But that's not really what this thing is for. It's not going to be a quick deployment fiddle at it at the desk kind of knife. It just isn't. But that's fine. That's not really what their thing is. They don't make their knives for fiddling around with. They are for, according to their marketing, for big dangerous stuff. Some of them are just silly, but anyway. So overall, I gotta say, I really do like this a hell of a lot more than I thought I would. The reason why I say than I thought I would, though, and this goes into the rant section, the marketing for Cold Steel is just ridiculous. For a guy who's only been really into knives for a year and a half or two, I did not want a Cold Steel because of the marketing. I know that the way they just, I think it turns people off. It turned me off. I mean, you look at videos of, like, some of their promotional videos are like Len Thompson talking about killing lions with spears and big game hunting and gym montages of him wheezing and fighting people and all this. I'm a warrior. He's like the Alex Jones of the knife world, and I don't like it. And I may like him personally. I know a lot of people that I didn't think I'd like, and I haven't met him, and I maybe personally we get along fine, but the way he's portrayed in those videos really turns me off. The way that they portray the Cold Steel mentality, you would think that, like, this was the knife you'd find in the glove box of a Camaro. I mean, that's just what it seems like. It's just, but it's not. It's a good knife, and I handled a Code 4 a lot. I almost bought one of those. I did like the Code 4 quite a bit, but guys, focus more on how awesome your knives are, and stop focusing on what a badass the owner of the company thinks that he is. Names like Ultimate Hunter and Broken Skull. Like I said, I don't mind this name, but some of their names are ridiculous. It's just focus on what's great about your knives, because there are a lot of great things. The Triad Lock is awesome. It's not fiddleable, playable with, but if you're going to be really beating on a knife, it's a great lock. The ergonomics of this are great. The blade is great. Focus on the fact that we use really good steel for a really good price. Don't focus on the other stuff. That is my advice. But despite all that, I thought this would be my one and only Cold Steel I'd ever own, and it isn't. I'll probably get another one. And now I kind of want a Code 4 a bit more, because I use this, and I thought, you know what, this thing overcomes my hatred of the marketing, but it shouldn't have to. I'm a public figure, and not on YouTube yet. I'm still pretty small, but in my daily life, people people do know who I am, and I have to edit myself a little bit. And edit yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't just just try to appeal to more people, and they'd be as big as Spyderco if they just let the knives speak for themselves. So that is my review and opinion both together, one on one. You got a twofer today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it informative. Great knife. I've been Bryan. Have a good one.